Good morning! Oh my goodness, it feels so good to say that again. I am out hiking, the weather is gorgeous, it's a really hot day here in the Derbyshire Dales, and I'm in the idyllic estate village of Edensor, which is very near the Chatsworth estate and park. So I'm planning on walking all around here today, probably only going to be doing about 7 or 8 miles, but I would love to take you along with me and show you the sights as I go. I'm currently stood outside the church here at Edensor. It's a 19th century spire church and it holds the graves of the Cavendish family who lived over on the Chatsworth estate, and also it has got a marble slab memorial for Kathleen Kennedy, who is the sister of John F. Kennedy. Now he apparently visited here during his presidency to pay his respects, and Kathleen Kennedy was married to the 10th Duke's eldest son, which is where the connection lies. So let's go have a look around. Whilst in the graveyard, I also came across the gravestone of Joseph Paxton. Now he was the head gardener over at the Chatsworth estate, and the Duke had asked him to build dwellings here in Edensor. He built 33 in total, and he had an architect try and design these. Now the architect came up with several different versions for the Duke and he just couldn't decide. So the village boasts lots of different types of styles. We have got the Norman arches, Tudor chimneys and Alpine roofs. Now the reason that this village is situated here and not on the River Derwent where it used to be is because the 6th Duke decided that he no longer wanted views of a town or houses from his estate over at Chatsworth. So he decided that he wanted to demolish everything within his view and move it over here and relocate everybody. However, there was one little cottage that remained, and that was called Park Cottage. Now, nobody knows why that one wasn't demolished, but there was an elderly gentleman living there. Some say it's perhaps because he didn't want to inconvenience him. Others say that it's because it wasn't actually within view. So I shall let you decide that for yourself. have barely left the village and already I've come across some wildlife. There's a load of wild deer right behind me here in the trees. I'll try and zoom in and show you. I am now walking towards Chatsworth House, and if you don't know, it is a stately home situated in England. It's about 3.5 miles away from Bakewell and 9 miles from Chesterfield, and it stands on the east bank of the River Derwent. It is truly a magnificent house. It is unbelievable. It takes your breath away as you're walking towards it. I couldn't resist stopping under this tree for a little bit of shelter because it has got rather warm. I think it's about 28 or 29 degrees at the moment, and the estate looks quite busy. There's a lot of people here having fun in the river and around the grounds, so I thought I'd stop and have a quick snack, which is a banoffee pie flavoured naked bar, which is absolutely delicious. And I wanted to share something with you. Daniel Defoe came here in 1726, and you probably know him from writing Robinson Crusoe. Well, he stated when he came that he was astonished that so noble and magnificent a palace should be built in such a harsh, out-of-the-way situation. So that was his thoughts on this area. Coming off track because I found this strange little monument that I've not heard of before, so I hope I can figure out what it is when I get there. Turns out it's not really a monument at all. I think it was just a type of statue thing for children to play with, but I have spotted a load more deer. What a truly wonderful sight behind me. All those deer are sheltering under the tree, getting a little bit of shade from today's heat. There's 105 acres of garden in Chatsworth, and it's surrounded by a wall which is 1.7 miles long. The park is 1,000 acres, so it's huge, and the southeast section is closed for the red and the fallow deer to be able to breed. And all this obviously includes a lot of gardeners, so there's 20 full-time gardeners that are working here, and it is absolutely beautiful. All these trees everywhere. Obviously they are not just growing naturally, they have been designed by people over the years, and it is truly wonderful area. I've just managed to get away from the hustle and bustle which is behind me, which is where the main gardens are and the house itself. So I've kind of taken a long walk around and I'm coming back on myself, and what I'm hoping to do is go up behind the gardens and up behind the house to show you the Emperor Lake, I think it's called. Emperor Lake is an 8-acre lake which is dug 350 feet above the house, and this supplies water to a fountain. Now this fountain has got a height of 90 metres, and it was built for Tsar Nicholas, who is the Emperor of Russia. Now they planned on him arriving here to visit, and he apparently has his own fountain. But no, Chatsworth wanted to do a bigger fountain to impress him when he got here, but unfortunately he died before he ever visited. These sheep have certainly got the right idea today. Hide in the shade, have a little rest. Visitors to Chatsworth certainly know how to have a quintessentially British picnic. I have just realised I have not told you too much about Chatsworth itself. Now the first property to be built here was in the 1560s, and that was by Bess of Hardwick. However, it was in the property of the Cavendishes since 1549. However, what we see today, construction started in 1687 because it was all rebuilt, and then obviously took many years to get to where we are now. Inside it houses neoclassical sculptures. It also has old master drawings, lots of different furnitures, paintings and books. And you won't be surprised to hear that it has been voted on several occasions one of Britain's favourite country homes. I don't know if anybody has seen the Lord of the Rings films, but in the first one, where Frodo and Sam have to hide from the horses that are out to get them, this bit reminds me so much of it. There's so much undergrowth and roots and rocks and everything by the trees. It's quite damp smelling as well, and very dark and dingy considering how hot it is today. I have nearly reached the highest point of the hike today, and I have come across this old hunting tower. And there's some spectacular views over the top here. And here we have it, Emperor Lake. It is so tranquil and peaceful up here. Definitely worth the hike up. If my map is right, I should be now walking up to a little lake called Swiss Lake. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the lake isn't what I was expecting it to be. It's a little dried out. Oh my word, look at that. Over here is Swiss Cottage. Oh, there is a little bit of water over there in the corner still. Blimey, that's one dry lake. That was just too funny, but it was a nice spot to stop and have a little bit of lunch before I carried on the next bit. Well, that Swiss lake was built in the 1690s, and that was to power the Duke's Cascade down in the gardens down at Chatsworth. see that white foam in the grass there? I think there's some more over here. Let me see if I can zoom in and show you. There, just about there. I grew up calling this cuckoo spit. Now I don't think it is cuckoos that spit and make that foamy whiteness. I believe it's some kind of beetle. But you see it everywhere in the grasses at this time of year. I am not sure if these are called the same things in every country, but here in the UK we call these kissing gates, where you walk through and kind of nestle yourself in the middle bit and then pull the gate back on yourself and then carry on through. And I've been walking through a few today and I've never seen them so big. I mean, I'm about 5 foot, so you can see here that it goes to quite some height. And I kept wondering why they're so tall, because normally they're probably between waist and shoulder on me. And like this one here, this one is a normal size one. And I have figured out that it's probably to do with all the deer that roam here. So I reckon that there's a great big fence here and it's just trying to keep the deer under control. So that's what I think. Not sure if I'm right, but I'm going to go with it. I am now nearing the end of my walk. I have got Chatsworth behind me and a little lamb down here. It has been a truly wonderful hike today. Sorry, I think one of the sheep is being sick behind me. Always pleasant in nature. But it has been a wonderful hike around the Chatsworth area. I mean, if it's good enough for Jane Austen to write about Chatsworth in her 1813 book, Pride and Prejudice, then it's good enough for anybody to come and visit here. I think she referred to Elizabeth Bennet visiting on her way to Pemberley with her aunt and uncle. I had to cut that short because I was really worried about that sheep. It was coughing quite a lot. The 2005 Pride and Prejudice film was also filmed here at Chatsworth, as well as The Duchess, Death Comes to Pemberley, a film called The Wolf Man, I think, as well as parts of Peaky Blinders. So it has been well used in films and TV series. I thoroughly hope you have enjoyed coming out with me today, and I hope to do plenty more hiking vlogs in the very near future, so I hope you come along with me on those as well. So until next time, goodbye!